already. If I could have everybody step inside, and Connor, if you'd pull those doors shut for me, please. We'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Welcome to the Marion Coalition for Effective Government's Evening with the Candidates. Tonight we hope to put a little different twist on our usual candidate forums that we've all become so accustomed to in the last several months. The candidates that are still in the running for local offices have now been at this for a very long time, and they're all getting very tired, and they've been through quite a bit. So we hope tonight that we can have a little fun and learn something new about each one of them one last time before we get to cast our votes on November 8th. So we're looking for a light, good time, nothing dramatic. So hopefully it'll go that way. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce a few of the elected officials that are in the audience tonight. We have Supervisor of Elections, Wesley Wilcox. Please give him a hand. He's had a great, he's been the hardest working one through all of this. Thank you for everything you do, Wesley. We also have County Commissioner Earl Arnett. Thank you for coming out, Earl. And School Board Member Nancy Stacy. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Before we begin, I'd like to ask County Commissioner Stan McLean to come up and help us with the prayer and the pledge.
Good evening. I'd just like to commend the Marion Coalition for Effective Government for hosting these debates. I know you've done a series of them, and this is the third one, and certainly having been a candidate several times myself, I can attest to the grind that you start feeling after, when it gets this close. It's down to 21 days, and so in 3 weeks, you all are going to have to make a lot of important decisions, not just about local races, but certainly about national and state level races as well. But so if you'll join me as we pray. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the blessings that you've given to us. We thank you for the country that was founded by under inspiration from you, and Father, that elections are the way that we are to voice our opinions and to find a way to make government better, to make our lives better. And Father, I just pray that you'd bless each candidate that are in various races. I pray that you would just give us strength and watch over us and guide us. I pray for those that are here tonight that you'd bless them. And we just pray that you'd bless Marion County. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance. Oh, I'm sorry. States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we will now get started with our program. I'm going to turn it over to our MC tonight, the President of the Professional Firefighters of the City of Ocala, Mr. Rob Altman.
Thank you. We'd like to get started tonight by first saying thank you to the sponsors for this evening, Stan and Martha Hanson, and Combined Insurance Services of Florida. I would also like to recognize the coalition board members. Two are absent tonight, but some others are here. William Taylor, Todd Fambro is absent, and Rob Fox. Jay Boardman, Professional Firefighters, Marion County. Michael Sachs, FOP. And then we have Carmen Ciroli from FOP from the City of Ocala. We will get started tonight. Well, thank you. We will get started tonight with a few words from those candidates who were successful in their bid for election in the August primaries. Please welcome newly elected Commissioner Michelle Stone.
Well, good evening, everyone, and I appreciate the opportunity to come before you this afternoon. And
Is that one not on? Here, come here. You come right here. Test.
okay. Well, I'll start again. It's a pleasure to be here this evening, and I appreciate all of you who have voted for me, and I look forward to representing all of Marion County. Since I have won the primary, I have continued to stay out there getting to know people and addressing the public's concerns, as well as talking to people in the county. So I'm looking forward to getting to go to work for you on November the 15th. and also looking forward to this event. And so thank you to the Marion Coalition for Effective Government for the opportunity to learn more about our candidates.
Thank you, Commissioner Stone. Mr. Commissioner Gold, newly elected Commissioner Gold.
Well, I actually still have an election to go through. I have 2 write-ins, and if Mr. Wilcox will tell you, with the 2 write-ins, there's virtually, it's not possible for me to lose, but we never know. So when you do look at the ballot and you see just that name, Jeff Gold, with a mark on it, please mark it. Mickey Mouse won't work, okay, if you write it in. But I'm very happy. I appreciate what the coalition has done. If we think about, in the last couple years, what we've been able to present, and this group's been able to present and help with everybody to get the sales tax increase through for first responders and roads, it's been a great thing for everything that's been done and to bring the debates. I know when we're running, and people always say you don't know what it's like unless you actually ran yourself, because it is very taxing. And there's a lot of things that go on. We've had a pretty good race. We've had a lot of changes this year. We know with some of the things that have happened in the sheriff's race, but I think in general everybody's treated each other with respect. And that's the thing we've got to do. Because in the end, no matter if we're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever party we have, we're all Americans, so we all come together at the end. I appreciate it, and remember, fill that bubble in. Have a good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Gold. This time, Beth? Where's Beth McCall? Up there, sorry. School board member Beth McCall.
Thank you, and thank you to the coalition for supporting and having these forums. Those in Marion County who say they do not know their candidates have missed wonderful opportunities to get to know them. So I thank you. Thank all of you for the support that you gave me for voting for me. I am looking forward to going to work to do what's best for our children, to work with Dr. Mayer and the other school board members to bring Marion County Public Schools up to a world-class school system. I think we can do it. I have a passion to do it, and I look forward to hearing from all of you when you have ideas for us. We are looking to really get our business community back involved, so looking for some volunteers to help us with that. So I want to thank you again, and I will be a good steward of your tax dollars, and I will put our children as my top priority. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McCall. I'd like to introduce Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Hagemeyer.
Thank you, Mr. Altman. Thank you so much to the coalition. As Ms. McCall has said, this is another quality event, and we thank you. All the candidates, I'm sure, thank you for these opportunities. But the words thank you, 2 very small words that mean so much. Thank you. Thank you, the voters of Marion County, for opening the door to possibilities like we have never experienced before. I don't know if you can feel it, but the excitement and the potential is out there, and it's because of you. So for those 6,000 employees and 42,000 children in Marion County Public Schools, our possibilities have just begun. And as we move forward, we will continue to say, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you to the voters of Marion County, because you have made this possible. Have a good night.
Thank you, Dr. Meyer. Thank you to all of you for your service, and we look forward to all of the great things you have planned for our county. Now we'll start our evening's events. What we're going to do for each race, County Commission, Clerk of the Court and Comptroller, and Sheriff, we'll ask each remaining candidate to provide us with 3 people who will come up and speak on their behalf. 3 people who will share with us something unique about the candidate and a special reason why we should vote for that individual. We're going to start with the County Commission District 1 seat. David Moore is the incumbent, and his opponent is John Townsend. To speak first for David Moore will be Randy Osborne. And then you go to that center one. And then if I could also have for John Townsend, Kurt Kugler? Is that how it's pronounced? Kugler? I'm sorry. There's an R in here. If I get you coming over the microphone. Go ahead, Randy.
First of all, I want to thank the sponsors of this event for putting this together. It's always important for, in an election process, to have people, the community, to actually take a look and actually understand and look and see what the options are when they're voting. I want to talk a little bit about David Moore. David Moore is not your typical politician. He does practice what he preaches. Phrases that I would actually describe David Moore would be things such as character, honesty, integrity, one of great moral judgment, and one of great moral clarity. He is one that is no respecter of persons. It doesn't matter when you're talking to him in an office if you're a Democrat, an independent, or a Republican. It does not matter to him. He is open and willing to listen to all views. David Moore is a giving person with a heart of gold, and he has many, many hours of service to charities such as the Special Olympics, and most of that goes unnoticed by many of us. He also understands that he is a representative of you, the citizens, and he understands the role of government. He is one that does not cave to special interest, and David Moore understands that he represents all of the people. David Moore also has a proven track record of supporting fire rescue and law enforcement. And it's intentional, and it's also consistent. In fact, there's no one that has been better voting record than David Moore in the public safety realm. He is also a person that has great personal faith, and it is the catalyst for his decision-making process. And finally, David Moore can be depended upon to do what is right no matter what. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Osborne. Thank you. Kurt, your turn.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt Kugler, and I work for a small business here in Marion County. And John Townsend is a small business owner here in Marion County and knows how to run a business. He's been doing it for a long time. He knows how to take care of people. He's a good businessman. I really think that John would do a wonderful job as county commissioner. In this county, he looks after many things here. His interests are down to earth and right where we need to be, where we need a congressman to take care of us here in Marion County. Take care of our deputies and our firefighters, all law enforcement, paramedics, organ donors, tissue donors, and such. We need John Townsend as our county commissioner to do these things, to better our roads, better our school buses, take care of our children, and means of many means. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. John Townsend is the man for our job as county commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. I would like to ask Jim Vicarious and then Maria Kahn-Roman to come to the stage, please.
Yeah, he's my partner. I can't go without him.
Ladies. Maria, would you like to go first?
Hi.
I'm Maria Roman. I volunteered for Special Olympics for the last 15 years here in Marion County. And I've got the pleasure of meeting David Moore 4.5 years ago. I think he was just a newly elected commissioner at that time, which I didn't know. He was running, gasping for air because he was running late. He thought he was running late for the speech that he's supposed to do, but little did he know I had to put him to work lifting chairs and table with his suit and, tie. And that was the beginning of his service to the Special Olympics. Consistently, every time we invite several political people in the county, pretty much it's David Moore who will show up. And sometimes, last minute that we didn't have anybody to come to do prayers or something, I will give him a call, even late at night. I said, can you come in the morning? And he said, well, I have appointments, but if you give me 5-10 minutes, I'll be there. And he's there. And sometimes, even if he's not speaking, he will come there, take his coat off, and he will buy whatever I ask him to do. And a lot of people would ask me, you always ask the commissioner to do these things. I said, well, he didn't mind, and he offered, so, and he knows how, as you know, if you work for a nonprofit, you're always running out of volunteers, and that's a very scarcity in this community. And like I said, he's always there. And one of the things, too, that I like about talking about character, although in the last 4 years, we've been friends, he's never, take advantage, or, even if I ask him sometimes a favor, he would always say, if it's the right thing to do, then I'll do it. If not, I can't do anything about it. So, a lot of times I say, oh, we're friends. And he would say, well, yeah, we're friends, but I have to do it right. So,
Okay.
And that's him. He has to be honest with everything. And, before he was used to be Joshua's dad, now he is, what do you call him? David.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Sorry, I didn't
No, you're
prepare a
good.
speech,
No,
so.
that's perfect. Next, we're going to ask Jim Vicarious. to speak.
Thank you very much. Everybody, my name is Jim Vicarious, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about John Townsend and ask you to vote for him for county commissioner. I'm a lawyer. I get to travel across the state quite often, and I tell you what, you don't know how good you have it here in Marion County. What a wonderful place you have, and I know that from my heart. Long ago, before I was a lawyer, I was a soldier, and I was in a reserve unit right here in Ocala, the 351st MP Company. And I tell you what, you've got some of the best people on planet Earth in that company. They have been deployed many different places. When I was part of the company, we were deployed to Bosnia, and I'll never forget coming back, and they had us on buses. They bussed us through town, and I can't count the number of people that were on the streets. It almost makes you cry today, just waving at you. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. It really is. And I tell you what, I mentioned about my armed forces service to talk about adversity in your life. That was a tough time for me. It was a reserve unit. I had to shut my business down. I lost it as I did that. When I came back, I built my law firm back up, and it's an extremely successful law firm now. And that's one of the ways that I met John Townsend. I saw him on the worst day of his life. He lost his wife and his young son at the same moment. And you can see a lot. You can tell a lot about a person on the worst day of their life when you're there and you're with them. what I saw him do when that happened was pray. Like all of us would pray at a moment like that. And I tell you what, God answered his prayer, because one of the things he was worried about was his daughter that survived, and making sure that she's able to have a great life. Another thing he worried about was, what was he going to do after that? How was he going to get through that? And I tell you what, I can't tell you how proud I am to call John my friend, because he really came through for his daughter, and he picked himself up too. He went out, went in, bought a business, turned that business around, and made it a very successful business here in Marion County, and employing people too, building things in this county. That's the kind of person that you want on your commission. Somebody who's not afraid to get out there and work. Somebody who's not afraid on the
Jim,
worst day
I
of their
need you-
life. Thank you.
I'm sorry, 3 minutes.
As you can tell, I could keep going about my friend John Townsend, but I humbly ask you for his vote. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next, can I have Elijah come up for David Moore, and then former Sheriff Steve Ulrich. This time, please, go to the stage. Yes, sir. No? Elijah, I'm gonna let you go first.
Yes, my name's Elijah. For y'all that I don't know much of y'all, but I met him, I want to say 3 to 4 years ago, and it's been a while. And growing up the way I did, I don't really get attached to people very much. And if you ask me how I'm doing, I'm always fine. But that's someone I would trust my life with very fast in a heartbeat. And his son has gone through a bunch too, and I can honestly say he was there every Wednesday and Sunday at our church going through it with his own problems, almost in tears some Wednesdays. But he always stood there for us and gave us a good example to lead by, and I can go to him with almost any problem, and he's going to give me the correct choice, and it might not be what I want to hear, but that's what I need to hear, and I just would feel better if David Moore would be great for the position of county commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you, Elijah.
Well, hi, my name is Steve Ulrich, and most of you do not know me. I used to be the sheriff of Alachua County, just north of here. Served there for 14 years. As an individual you may know, though, someone that worked their way up and ended up being my chief of staff is a fellow by the name of Emery Gainey. And so now you have Emery. So if you whatever attributes he brings to the Marion County Sheriff's Office, you can either thank me or blame me. But I know John Townsend, and I'm here to speak for John Townsend. John Townsend and I share in a camaraderie of a group, you could call it a fraternity, that you do not want to belong to. We both lost our children in an accident. John lost not only his child, but his wife. That says a lot about a man, not when tragedy strikes, but what he does about it. We both got involved, and where I met John was at Donate Florida, and the people that get donations of tissue and organs from those who die tragically. He participated in that program through his wife and his son, and others lived because of his tragedy. The same with me. I lost my son, Nick, 18 years old, 2 weeks out of high school in an accident. And we're able to give tissue and organ to over 100 people when you count all the skin and sinew and all the rest of that that's available out there. So John and I had an instant rapport with each other because we shared that tragedy, but made it come to some sort of success. I call it the narrowest of silver linings around the darkest part of your life. John has lived that. John is not a bitter man. He's a man that wants to see this community prosper. And just like the logo that you have here, where you see that it's the coalition, and he will be a member of the coalition for effective government. I urge you to take an independent person, put them on the county commission to represent you in both good times and bad times, because we don't know what the future will bring, but we do know that if we elect people like John Townsend to the county commission, that the right things will happen. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sheriff Orlich. Okay, to wrap up the county commission race, right now I'd like to bring up County Commissioner David Moore and his opponent, John Townsend, to the stage, please. 3 minutes. Both candidates, we're going to give you 3 minutes to tell us a little bit about yourself and wrap it up. And this is maybe one of your last time to speak to your voters. Since the last person went for John Townsend, I'll let David Moore start.
Okay, my name is David Moore. I'm running for re-election as County Commissioner, District 1 here in Marion County, Florida. The reason why I'm running for re-election is for our future. My son, Joshua, is the reason I'm running. He's 11 years old. He is a cancer survivor. We're praying in Jesus' name he's healed. I held his hand as he slipped off into unconsciousness for 3 days. So I know what it's like to almost lose a kid. Thank the Lord I did not have to go through the suffering that my opponent has went through with losing a kid. It's indescribable what you go through when your family's there and you have to trust your family in your situation. You find out that God is real in those situations. But the reason why I'm running is because of my son, for the future of Marion County, because we have to be proactive, not reactive. The purpose of government is to protect the public, which means we've got to put our fire safety first, we've got to put our law enforcement first, and I've been one of 2 commissioners who has been consistently fighting for public safety here in Marion County. We can't bring jobs here and create jobs if the area is not safe. And the next thing I have worked at is job creation. We have brought FedEx here, we have brought AutoZone, we are bringing other things here, and the way we do it is by getting out of the way of business, reduce the regulations, and let businesses do what they do best, which is create jobs. Also, the thing that we're looking at is infrastructure. We have to have safe roads for the fire trucks, for the law enforcement officers to get up and down. In the next year, you will see County Road 42 and other roads start being repaved. We are working towards creating an infrastructure here in Marion County that will support the people that are moving here. Because when I tell people this is God's country, I firmly believe Marion County is God's country. It's the best place on the face of the planet to live. And I've been to the Philippines, I've been to Japan, my parents were missionaries in Brazil. I've seen the world, and truly this is the best place to live. But back to our people, taking care of our public safety people. We need to take care of those who take care of us. And I am really excited about Commissioner Jeff Gold and Commissioner Stone joining me on the board, because instead of being 2 people fighting for public safety, now I believe we're going to have 4. And we're going to change that tide, and we're going to be able to get things accomplished here in Marion County. So look forward to this next 4 years being the best 4 years that's ever been on the Marion County Commission. I would appreciate your prayers, your support, and your vote on November 8th. My name is David Moore. Please bubble my name when you vote for me on November 8th. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Commissioner Moore. Stay there.
Well, good evening. I'm John Townsend. I'm the NPA running for County Commissioner in District 1, and each and every one of you are going to make history in Marion County when you vote an NPA in. I am here to work for you, not the Republican, not the Democrat, not whites and not blacks, but all citizens of Marion County, whether what your race is. I've even had a pagan gentleman tell me the other day he will not vote for me because I would crucify him. So I said, well, please vote for Mr. Moore.
Pagan gentleman? Okay.
So anyways, let me tell you why I'm running, folks. We have serious issues coming to Marion County, and I want to see some serious things done. First of all, to fix our firemen and our sheriff's department with financial needs that they need, we have to fix our budget. We need to readjust the way and restructure the way we spend our budget and get to the nitty-gritty, cut the waste, because we got a big problem coming January I don't hear a lot of people talking about, but I've been studying this for 4 months. Last month it was made official. Across the board in the state of Florida, workman's comp is going up 14.5%. I spend about $30,000 a year in workman's comp insurance. So do the math. It's real simple, folks. That's county fire, sheriff's department, county employees across the board, Burger King, McDonald's, Publix, you name it, everybody's going up 14.5%. People want to lead you into believe that we're out of the recession. In January, we could roll right back into the recession real fast, and we need to be prepared for it. It's not a scare tactic, folks. It is the truth. One thing me and my opponent agree on is we need to take care of the men and women, our fire and rescue, and our boots on the ground, sheriff's department. It's a must-need thing, because if you want more companies to come, you better have a safety area. But I live in District 1, in the shores, in the heart of District 1. At 11 p.m. at night, we're down to 1 sheriff. Our crime rate is growing in District 1, and it's a sad thing. Businesses are losing. We just lost Winn-Dixie not too long ago. Last month, they closed the doors. It is getting ridiculous. Marion County is a great place. We have great citizens in Marion County. We need great leaders in our government to lead. And I'm asking for your support on November 8th as the independent that will take care of each and every one of you. I will answer your calls. I will return your emails. And I'll work very hard for you. I've got no one backing me that's special interest. 100%. Go to votemarion.com. Go to campaign financial reports. Look up my name, and you can see where my money's coming from. 65% of it's my own. My name's John Townsend. November 8th, I would like your support. I'd like your vote. Thank you very much.
Okay, gentlemen. John, stay there. We have one final question for both gentlemen, and most of you probably heard this just recently on television. Please tell us one thing you like about the other person. David?
Say what? No, I didn't.
I would like you to tell me one thing that you like about Mr. Townsend.
One thing I like about Mr. Townsend is that we have both had a gentleman's agreement to be positive and speak about what we're going to do, not about tearing the other person down, but about building up and what we're going to do about Marion County.
It has been a gentleman's agreement. This campaign across the nation has been disgusting for all, and I'm not just talking about the president. The one thing I'll never take away from David Moore is his Christianity. I believe he has faith 110%, and I hope he feels the same way about me. The love he has for his wife and son is undoubtedly the truth, and I will back him up 110% on that. It's a great thing, and I've met his wife several times. She's a great woman, and he is a good man.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Good luck. Okay. Next, we will have the speakers for David Elsperin, incumbent, and Cynthia Moody, challenger. To speak first will be Aaron Buss and then Connie King. If I could have them come to the stage, please. Okay.
Take it out like everyone else has. My name is Erin Buss. I'm David Elsperman's daughter. Thank you so much to the coalition for having us here this evening. We truly appreciate it very much. Marion County has been home for my father since he was 2 years old, and this community is family, and his family and this community are significant to him. That goes for us and for my sister and for his 5 grandsons that call him Pops. But it also goes to his clerk family, the family who he's quick to credit with any accomplishments that they may have achieved together since he's been elected the clerk. Marion County is fortunate to have David Elsperman, and he's still saying yes to this position. He has an accounting degree by education. He also served as a police officer. He then went and got his master's degree in criminal justice and then became a public administrator in the judicial system as the executive director of both the Public Defender's Office and also the State Attorney's Office. He had the professional experience and education to serve as clerk and comptroller before he even made the decision to run. Now he has proven performance and leadership within the office. We all get to reap the benefits of that. Every year in office, he has had a clean audit with what is now over a $500 million budget. He was the first in Florida to redact private information from the public records. And the list, what he has done for us, has gone on and on. He was named Clerk of the Year an unprecedented 2 times, and then you know what, ladies and gentlemen, he got it a 3rd. He is exceptional. The list of leadership and nonprofit organizations he has served locally and for the state is diverse and reflects who he really is, a servant. The office of Clerk and Comptroller is not one of power. It is one of accountability, and it is a complex agency. Visit his website or Facebook for additional information, but please know this, that his experience is incredible, and he has done nothing but focus on his qualifications. I ask that you please look at his heart, his service, and his wisdom, and elect David Ellspermann, your Clerk of the Court and Comptroller.
Thank you, Aaron. Ms. Buss?
Good evening. My name is Connie King. When I heard that Cynthia Moody was running for Clerk of the Circuit Court and Comptroller, I asked to meet with her. I wanted to hear why she decided to take on this task, this responsibility, this challenge. So we met, and I asked all sorts of questions, and we talked about how we met. Cynthia and I met back in the 90s, early 90s, when we were going through transition. We were both we were single moms raising our children. And every day I could count on a knock around 4 o'clock. Can Mark come out to play? I said, who is this little boy? It was Cynthia's son, Abe. Of course, now I can't look down on Abe anymore. I think Abe towers over both of us. Our paths crossed again. I too worked for the clerk's office. I went on to work as a judicial assistant for one of the judges, and here comes Cindy. Cindy comes to the clerk's office, and she's working for the clerk, and then I look up again, and she too is a judicial assistant. But the answer that stood out among all others was the answer to why she wanted to run. She said, because I have to. She went on to share some of the reasons, and I sat there watching her, and I was listening, and I could see the passion in her eyes and the sincerity in her voice. This was not a fly-by-night or check this off of my bucket list sort of thing. I understood fully. It's not a personal vendetta, though it is a personal journey. Challenging, yes, but the thing about challenges is that you must prepare for them. I think of our soldiers without combat experience, who've never faced the heat of battle, but because they prepare for the challenge, instinct and preparedness takes over, and it will. Congratulations to you for stepping out on your passion and your drive. No matter the outcome, you're already an example to others who would dare to step out on personal conviction. Embrace change, and you'll know you keep growing forever. You keep making new friends, and your circle will expand. Nurture the talents of others, and you'll always get results. Be a promise keeper, and you'll always have people's trust. Be who you are, and you'll always be real. Give credit to those who help you reach your goals, Cindy, and you'll always have a team. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. King. Next to the stage, could I have Michael Tomic, I believe it is, and then Otto, and I don't want to beat up the last name, is it Howell? Hole? Okay, no. Michael, let you go first.
Good evening. I appreciate being here to share with you the importance of the qualifications and experience of David Ellspermann, your Clerk of the Circuit Court and Controller. As Budget Director for Marion County, I'm grateful for the privilege of serving Marion County citizens under the leadership of David Ellspermann. In my role as Budget Director, I work closely with all the business functions of the Clerk's office and as we oversee the funding of all of Marion County's operations. David Ellspermann has an awesome responsibility to ensure the effective planning, collection, security, expenditure, and reporting of your tax dollars that are entrusted to his care. Although each member of the clerk's office has the credentials and experience to serve in their roles, it is only through his excellent leadership that the clerk's office can be truly effective. The responsibility of the clerk to serve as chief financial officer, budget officer, and internal auditor requires much more than staff expertise. It requires the clerk to have direct knowledge of and participation in the business functions of the clerk's office. David Alsperman's education in accounting and administration gives him the ability to provide direction and review of the activities of all these important functions. His extensive upper-level management experience enables him to present, explain, and support the recommendations of staff directly to county officials and to the public. His standing in the community through his participation and leadership in a great many local and statewide organizations provides the integrity, respect, and perspective necessary to carry out the county's business functions for the maximum benefit of Marion County citizens. I respectfully ask that you support and vote for David Alsperman so we may all look forward to his continued excellence in leadership, knowing that he is best able to serve the citizens of Marion County as clerk of the circuit court and comptroller. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick.
Hi, my name is Otto, for those who don't know me. I have known Miss Moody here since 1998. I firmly believe that you should vote for her on November 8th because she has a vision and she has a plan. I will let her fill you in on the details of both of those because I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the other reason you should vote for her. Cynthia cares. You see, when you're a single mom living in public housing holding down 2 jobs so you can provide for your 2 children, you learn a thing or two about compassion and the lack of it. You learn about the mind-numbing indignity of being stopped and searched at Winn-Dixie because the alarm went off while you walked into the store. And the manager decided that you must certainly have done something that was not right. You learn that it is possible to be paralyzed with panic when your car quits in the middle of the road in rush hour. You have 2 screaming kids in the back, and you know that you have no money to fix this car. And you need to get it off the road right now because some Yahoo right behind you is hanging on the horn. And you remember, years later, when you are the one in the car behind, you don't honk. You turn on the hazard lights, you get out of your car, and you help the single mom in front of you get her car off the road. When the 12-year-old boy in that car, the only one in the car who speaks English, turns to you and asks, "Can I please borrow your cell phone?" You say, "Sure," and you hand it over because you've been there and you know what it is like. Cynthia's compassion had very few, if any, limits. For a long while, I thought she had a frequent buyer card down at the county pound. We had more dogs than you can shake a stick at. Eventually, the friends and neighbors supply line of needy dogs kind of took over the pound's work, so we're well supplied as it is right now without going down there. When her mother, well, I should ask that she currently has 2 Great Danes, and she complains about 2 dogs not really being enough. When her mother moved out of her rental house, Cynthia grabbed what looked like a little twig in her backyard and planted it in her own backyard. Today, that is a 40-foot tree that nobody has been able to identify as of yet. As clerk, these are the qualities that will make you an outstanding public servant. So again, I will ask that you vote for Cynthia Moody for clerk of court on November 8th.
Thank you, Otto. Can I ask Judge Michael Graves and Professor Cynthia Moody, which is no relation, to come up? Judge Graves,
Well, I got promoted. I'm not the judge. I'm the public defender for the 5th Judicial Circuit, which makes up Marion, Lake, Sumter, Citrus, and Hernando County. And with it is the 10,000 cases the public defender's office handles within this court system in Marion County every year. I've had the good fortune of knowing David Ellspermann for over 30 years. And the first thing that stands out for me is everything David has done, he has excelled at. Everything David has done, he has looked out not just to do it well, but to do it for everyone. I can tell you in the 4 years I've been the public defender, David's door has always been open. There's a couple things you can count on. He'll always ask you how you're doing, and he means it. He'll always ask you what he can do for you, and he means it. And if there's a problem, he'll always say, how can we fix it? And he means it. 4 years ago, the Supreme Court of the state of Florida decided it was a great idea to do away with paper in the court system. Everything's electronic. I'm a guy who went to law school before there were computers. It was the biggest change in our court system throughout the state of Florida since the invention of the typewriter. Were there problems? Yes. But there were problems throughout the state. What made the difference here was we solved problems, and we solved problems with David's leadership. David went to bat for us throughout the state. He went to bat for us within the county, and the thing that has always impressed me through that tumultuous time, never once did David Ellspermann try to cast blame. Never once did he point a finger and try to assign fault, because that wasn't what was important to the people. That wasn't what was important to the office. What was important to the office was solving the problem, and those problems got solved. And that's why today, the Marion County Clerk's Office, under David's leadership, I can say without hesitation, is the gold standard for clerk's offices throughout the state of Florida. And I am proud to support him, and even more importantly, I'm proud to call him my friend.
Thank you to the... Not on. Here we go. Thank you to the commission. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I am honored to represent Cynthia Moody. Yes, my name also is Cynthia Moody. The difference is I'm Cynthia M for Marie, and this is Cynthia A for Anne. You can laugh. We were told to have fun, right? Okay. So I am a new Marion County resident. I have actually been a Tri-County resident for the past 5 years since returning from Mozambique, where I was a Peace Corps volunteer. I have a PhD in organizational psychology, and my profession really has been teaching organizational psychology management classes, human resource management classes, and Cynthia Moody was on my roster when I started teaching for CF 2.5 years ago. I looked at my class roster and I said, why am I on the roster twice? We have different ID numbers. That's how we keep it straight at CF. So I've actually had Cynthia in 4 different management-related classes, as she is almost to finish her degree in business and business and organizational management with us. I know her well through her diligence as a student. I actually have, in the spirit of this evening, come up with an acronym to help us remember some of the qualities which I cherish about her. C for caring and compassion, and we didn't plan this, Otto. Caring and compassion. She has over and over and over demonstrated that not only to her classmates, but also to supporting all of you in this platform. Why? Yet to surprise us. Because she is a person of vision. Never giving up. And I believe that's why she will make an excellent clerk of the court. She is committed to solving problems. She is committed to finding solutions to the things that she believes are most important. Thankful, T, for this opportunity to serve you and to provide leadership. H for humble and teachable. And we know that good leaders are open to feedback, and I know that she is open to feedback. She's very approachable. I for intelligent. She is a problem solver. A, able to fulfill the office. And if you read her platform and you've heard her speak, you know that she has 20 years of experience alongside everyone else on the team. And after this election, we'll still all be on the same team, and so I really appreciate that comment. I would wholeheartedly support her. I will vote for her. And I thank you so much for the opportunity to share the wonderful qualities that I know of her from having had her in class for these past couple of years. Thank you.
Okay, at this time I'd like to have Mr. Ellspermann and Cynthia come up to the podium, please. Okay, we're going to start with David. We're going to give you 3 minutes to tell us about yourself and why people should vote for you.
On? There
Killing us,
you go.
Bronson.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to join together tonight. You've heard 3 wonderful individuals who are very special to me in my life. There isn't a whole lot I can add to what they had to say tonight. But I would like to share with you what Stephen Covey once said. He said, "Seek first to understand, then be understood." I think it's very important in this process that us as voters, citizens of Marion County, need to take the time to understand and seek the information about this office of what's important to you as citizens of Marion County. You've heard the comment about prior education, academics, experience, and so forth prior to running. Yes, I had that, but I also had the opportunity the last 20 years to serve you, the citizens of Marion County, with honor and dignity and integrity. And I commit to you that I'll continue to do that. Having the knowledge the next 4 years of fiscal management, budgetary controls, you heard it earlier of the concern that we're not out of the recession. Marion County is on that edge. And unless you have a clerk who has the ability financially to get you through this, as I did in 2008, moving forward, making the recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners mid-year in 2008 to cut their budget by $10 million, to save Marion County the trouble of having to reduce their services to their citizens. I ask you to consider me November 8th and continue to allow me to serve the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Ms. Moody.
Hello, I'm Cynthia Moody, the other candidate for clerk. You've heard all my character references, and I thank you all. That was wonderful. They're right, I do care. That's why I'm running. That's why this whole thing started 4 years ago, because I care about the people of Marion County. I can't help it. When my judge asked me if I was really wanted to do this, I said, yes, I feel it right here. I have to do it no matter what the outcome is, because I think it is time for a change in leadership at the clerk's office. And that's the bottom line. I have 19 years experience in the court system. I have great education. I am up to the challenge, and I'm ready on day one. I have no doubt about that. I can fix the issues that plague the clerk's office, and I hope that on November the 8th you Give me the opportunity to show you. If you vote early, that's great too. Whenever you vote, just vote for me. I do believe it's time for a change. And I'm just asking for your support and your vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Like we asked the two candidates earlier, we're going to have a question for both of you. And it's the same question. I'll start with David first, just the way it goes. Please tell us one thing that you like about your opponent.
You heard two people tonight express that Cynthia has compassion, and I agree with that. I saw that in the years she worked at the clerk's office and over in the court. So compassion is a mainstay of her life.
Very good. Thank you.
That's a good thing.
That's a very good thing. Your turn.
I'm impressed that David Ellspermann is such a great family man. He really is. I think he has a wonderful family, and he cares. And it shows. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Both of you, thank you very much. Okay. Now, we're going to go on to the sheriff's race between Billy Woods and Dennis McFadden. To speak first for Dennis, could I get Karen Hatch to come up to the stage and Bill Gladson for Billy? Okay, we're going to start out with Karen Hatch. I'll let you go first.
Over 100 years ago, a Chicago attorney formed one of the world's first service organizations where professionals in diverse backgrounds could exchange ideas and form meaningful, lifelong friendships. So I'm grateful that through Rotary, I have come to know Dennis McFadden as that meaningful friend. As Helen Keller once said, the most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched, but must be felt with the heart. And Dennis has not only touched my heart, but earned my respect and admiration through his service to our community. As Ray Kroc stated, the quality of a leader is reflected in the standards they set for themselves. And I have witnessed the actions of high standards that Dennis has set for himself over the years that I've known him. Rotary's motto is service above self, and Dennis lives by this daily. He is a true Rotarian and a leader in our community. I already have the faith and confidence of Dennis's qualifications. In my opinion, he is the most well-rounded candidate demonstrated through his experience as a combat Army veteran who honorably served his country during the Persian Gulf War and retired as Captain McFadden. Dennis also worked for the Florida Department of Correction and served over 20 years at the Marion County Sheriff's Department, retiring as a captain. I encourage you to read about Dennis's beliefs and his qualifications and his plan of community working together on his website. I hope that you will join me by voting for Dennis McFadden for sheriff in the general election. Thank you.
Mr. Gladson.
Good evening. My name is Bill Gladson, and it's a pleasure to speak to you tonight. It's also an honor of mine to speak on behalf of your sheriff candidate, Billy Woods. I first met Lieutenant Woods about 18 years ago when I was a county court prosecutor in front of Judge Futch. And during that time, I had the opportunity to work a lot of cases with him and the people that worked with him, and I had an opportunity to get to know him. One of the things that stood out often was how polite he was and how responsive he was to the needs of the office when we needed something. But most importantly, what stood out was how reasonable he was. Since that time, our careers have progressed, and I've recently had the opportunity to serve on a board with him. It's the Florida Criminal Justice Executive Institute, and it's a statewide group of leaders of law enforcement throughout the community or throughout the state that actually develop programs to advance other law enforcement officers' careers so they can provide the best service available. And in that capacity, I had the opportunity to see him as a leader. It wasn't just a law enforcement officer-prosecutor relationship, but as a leader. And during that time, as watching him lead that board at times, I realized how humble he was. And humility and reasonableness are two of the most important character aspects that you need to be a good leader. A leader makes decisions based on principles and is not pressured from others who seek to influence him or her. A leader is someone who listens to others and is not above admitting when he or she is wrong. A leader puts the interests of others before their own and encourages ideas from those who they serve. And finally, a leader always accepts responsibility. These are the qualities that I've seen in Billy Woods. The employees of the Marion County Sheriff's Office are among the finest around. They work every day, they work hard, and all they ask for is a reasonable salary and the respect to the people that they serve and the opportunity to advance themselves and their families and their communities. Marion County Sheriff's Office needs new leadership. Billy Woods has those qualities to deliver that leadership. Some have suggested perhaps that because he is from another agency, he doesn't have and doesn't know some of the inner workings of the Marion County Sheriff's Office. But I'll submit to you that when Sheriff Gainey came here, he too was not a member of the Marion County Sheriff's Office, but the agency has flourished under his leadership in a short period of time. Billy Woods has those characteristics, and he can, just like Sheriff Gainey has, continue to restore the integrity in the leadership at the Sheriff's Office and the confidence that the people need as they work towards making Marion County better. Billy Woods is the candidate with both the law enforcement experience and the fresh perspective that is needed in the Marion County Sheriff's Office as they move forward. He has his eye on the present and he has eyes on the future. He doesn't look to the past. He wants to make the Marion County Sheriff's Office better, and he is the person to do that. And for these reasons, I'm confident that Billy Woods is the best person for this job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. I'd like to ask June Daly and Caitlin Wixon to the stage, please. Ms. Daly, you're going to speak first.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It is with a sense of pride and exuberance that I stand tonight in support of Dennis Purcell McFadden, Jr. Dennis is one whose main focus is to develop a culture of trust. I have worked with Dennis in my church, therefore he places God as the one to order his steps. We work together in the community. I support him because he has qualities that are beyond reproach. He's a visionary in that he places service above self. He's focused, committed, honest, trustworthy, and qualified to become the next sheriff of Marion County. When I think of Dennis, I'm so reminded of one of our literary writers, Ralph Emerson, who penned the words, "Do not go where the path may lead. Instead, go where there is no path and leave your trail." Dennis will leave a trail in Marion County that has three parallels: leadership, relationship, and transparent management. Dennis is aware that one cannot lead others without having a direct and positive relationship with others. That transparent management, in my last 30 seconds, that transparent management comes because of the qualities that he shares as a godly man and a man that is willing, able, and ready to serve as your sheriff. So I urge you, and then I encourage you, on November 8th, vote Dennis McFadden, Sheriff of Marion County. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Caitlin Wixon, and I'm 13 years old. I'm in 8th grade, and I'm from Liberty Middle School. I've known Billy practically my entire life. I started out doing DUI checkpoints with him and other police officers. Before I understood what DUI checkpoints meant, my fondest memories were when he and the other police officers used to come and check on me while I slept in my mom and dad's SUV with my DVD player and my pink pretty little princess blanket. Then, as I got older, I understood what police officers' duties were to serve their community because they're sworn to protect the public. And Billy Woods has kept his word. No matter if I was 5 or 13, I will always look at Billy the same way: humble, appreciative, and with integrity. It may have been best said by Jim Rohn: the challenge of leadership is to be strong, but not rude, kind, but not weak, be bold, but not bully, be thoughtful, but not lazy, be humble, but not timid, be proud, but not arrogant, have humor, but not folly. I am the future of Marion County, and I want someone to lead this county and make it grow to the potential of being at the top. And I think Billy Woods has the work ethic, the intelligence, the open-mindedness, the determination, and the skill to be the next sheriff of Marion County. Through his actions, Billy has taught me discipline, confidence, and honesty. He is a great influence on kids my age to teach them that they have a purpose and a voice, and that they can make it big in this world. He's never cared about the money or the publicity. He cared about the people. No matter what age, where they come from, what they look like, he cares about everyone and their safety in the county. Billy has showed an opportunity of growth to fix the issues in this community. We can all make a difference here and make the community a better place. Billy Woods can take us just one step farther to make this county safe and secure. Now, I can just stand here and talk about his qualities and why he should be sheriff, or you can run on your ballot on Election Day on November 8th for Billy Woods to be the next sheriff of Marion County. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Okay. The next two speakers that I have gonna have a hard act to follow there. Laura Shonchek and Cindy Hale.
Good evening. I'm Lori Shonchek, mother of Noah, and also the son of Sheriff candidate Dennis McFadden. This is Noah right here. I thank you for this opportunity tonight to clear up some misinformation. It has been rumored that Dennis McFadden is a deadbeat father due to a miscommunication with the clerk of court, which shows he is behind in child support payments. I want the community to know that this is untrue. Dennis and I agreed since his retirement how child support payments would be done, and that is an untrue statement. I would just like for that to be clarified to the community tonight. We share custody of Noah. Noah has 2 sets of wonderful parents and families and is loved by many and is loved by 2 full families. When making your decision tonight to vote for Sheriff of Marion County, I ask you with respect to please not be led by any deceiving or untrue rumors that you may hear within the community. Dennis McFadden is a true example of how a father should take an active role in helping to raise his child when the relationship with the mother does not work out. I support Dennis McFadden in his bid to be the next sheriff of Marion County, and I ask you to join me. And our son Noah would like to say something as well.
My dad is a good man. We throw the baseball and shoot basketball whenever he's not trying to be sheriff of Marion County. He takes me to school and he picks me up from school so I can get to baseball practice on time and dodgeball. He helps me with my homework, teaches me about God and how to treat people. He said when all this is over, we're going on a long weekend getaway.
Thank you. Bronson.
Good evening. Good evening, good evening. It is an honor to stand before you this evening. Thank you, and I want to make one thing clear. So look at this lady here, this old lady up here, me. Understand that I think both of the candidates for sheriff are outstanding people, okay? Let's get that understood. So we're not gonna make this a white-black issue, because that's not the issue. It has nothing to do with the black man, the wrong, we want the right man. And that is why I'm honored to stand up here on behalf of Billy Woods. Billy, I've known and worked with for 20 years. 20 long years. He was on patrol while I dispatched, and then he got promoted, but he became my supervisor. And because of him, and because of God's grace, I can say I'm where I am right now because he helped mold me. Billy is one of the most humble people you ever want to meet. And he's the type that'll sit in the background to let your star shine. He's my friend, my mentor, and I'm proud of him. God's word said, a man without vision shall perish. Now remember that. Look at me when I tell you this. I was approached by Billy Woods at OPD some time back. And he told me, Cindy, I need to tell you something. And he told me that he had prayed and he was speaking with the Lord. It was an intimate conversation. And it had touched his heart that he needed to run for sheriff. When I saw the tears in his eyes, I said, and I'm gonna stand behind you 100%. So this whole campaign has nothing, again, I'm gonna tell you, to do with color or anything like that. It's about faith. By faith, I know he will make an excellent sheriff. By faith, I know he will lead the sheriff department and put them back on the top. By faith, he will rule with a steady hand and make sure that everybody learns that word respect for one another, not only who they're working with, but who they're serving. Because greatness comes from the top and it rolls down. Billy Woods is greatness. The spirit that he will bring to that sheriff department will teach and learn a whole new community of how we are supposed to treat each other, no matter the race, creed, religion, whatever. He's not that type of man. Billy is a man that's fair to everyone. Doesn't matter your your college degree, doesn't matter anything. He loves people. And because of faith, again, I'm going to tell you, I know he's the right candidate, and he's my candidate, and I'm so proud to call him my dear, dear friend. God bless you, Billy.
Thank you.
Okay, to wrap this section up, we're going to bring up Dennis McFadden and Billy Woods. We'll give them each 3 minutes to speak on their behalf. Okay, we're going to start out with Mr. McFadden. You
Start
first.
with me.
Start with you, sir.
Start with me. Well, good evening. First of all, I would like to thank my wife for dressing me in this salmon shirt. Anytime I go out and when I'm looking really nice, it's her. If I'm looking bummish, it's me. So I thank her. This is a great opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity to come and stand before you tonight. What we're here to do is convince you to vote for us. That's what it's about. Both myself and Billy have worked tirelessly for this opportunity to be the next sheriff of Marion County. And he too, and I made a gentleman's agreement months ago. As a matter of fact, he called me the night of the election, the primary. He made that call to say we're going to keep this race clean, nothing nasty, no negative campaigning throughout this campaign. So he and I have spoke several times throughout this process, and we've agreed to do that. So my name is Dennis McFadden, and I am running for sheriff of Marion County. 21 years at the Marion County Sheriff's Office, 4 years with the Florida Department of Corrections, and yes, I am a combat veteran of the Persian Gulf War. And I too served with the 351st MP Company, where I was, again, sent over to the Persian Gulf. My experience is started at the jail in corrections, became a patrol deputy. I've also worked in the DARE program as well as in SRO. I was promoted to sergeant, then I was promoted to an administrative lieutenant for 10 years, where I eventually served as the captain, which is a watch commander of the entire county. Marion County serves over 300,000 residents. And because of that, that is why I feel as though I am most qualified. So the Marion County Sheriff's Office has a $73 million budget. It's triple that of the Ocala Police Department. The Marion County Sheriff's Office has over 300,000 residents, which is a lot more than what the city of Ocala has. The Marion County Sheriff's Office is also in charge of the emergency management. When the storm came a couple of weeks ago, who did you call? The Marion County Sheriff's Office. I have been working with the Marion County Sheriff's Office in emergency management for 21 years of my career there. I also took 43 men and women down to the Republican National Convention, where it was the first time it had ever been done from this standpoint, where we took men and women down there to make sure that our political process was to a point, to a level to where everybody had the opportunity to voice their opinions. I am Dennis McFadden. I believe as though I am the best qualified candidate for the Marion County Sheriff's Office. I have been working tirelessly in this community from day one, long before I decided to run for sheriff. 10 years with the Rotary Club of Bellevue, where I'm the chairman of the Christmas gift buying program, where it has taken me all the way out to Umatilla, Summerfield, Pedro, delivering Christmas gifts to underprivileged kids. Again, long before I decided to run for sheriff of Marion County. God has led me in this vision. I was not supposed to be here according to the experts. I was outspent 5-1 by my opponent in the primary. I'll probably be outspent 5 or 10-1 this time, but it's not about the money. It's about you who get out and vote for the best qualified person for sheriff of Marion County. I truly believe that it's Dennis McFadden. If you vote for me on November 8th, I can promise you, I can guarantee you, you'll have ethical leadership, something that the men and women at the Marion County Sheriff's Office already has. Do not blame the men and women of the Sheriff's Office for the things that has been going on with the last administrations. There are good men and women there. If you pick up any newspaper across this country, you'll see that no agency is perfect, not even here in our county. Sometimes leadership just has problems of their own, and it shouldn't roll downhill and be the fault of those underneath. But I am here to be the next sheriff of Marion County, and I promise you ethical leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, mic's kind of low on me. First of all, thank you for having us here, and it is an absolute pleasure to be before every one of y'all. Can you imagine if on the national level candidates got along like this?
Amazing.
I think our nation would be so much better if it did happen. As your sheriff, I want to make some commitments to you. Now, as a law enforcement officer, I want to say this, that we will make your safety a priority. We will uphold the Constitution at all costs. As a CEO and as a manager, what I will promise you is that we will ensure that the tax dollars are spent towards the needs rather than the wants. Also, as a manager, we'll ensure that every patrol deputy is equipped with body cameras so that we ensure and maintain an open door policy. And then as a father, I promise you that we will, what programs, youth programs that have been eliminated, we will reinstate, and that those that are in existence, we will maintain, because our future is important. And then the second part of that is ensure that faith and trust is restored, and where it is and still exists is always maintained. Now, I'm going to tell you why you need to vote for me. My education, my training, my experience, and leadership. My education is in a bachelor's degree in criminal justice administration with a secondary education in business management, which includes accounting, labor law, and all these others. My training, I have a graduate of the Executive Senior Leadership Program through the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And as you heard from Mr. Gladson, I'm also an executive board member for the Florida Criminal Justice Executive Institute, which does teach chiefs and sheriffs throughout the state and provides the annual training. My experience of 26 years with the Ocala Police Department, from the bottom all the way to administration, a vast amount of administration. And yes, unlike what would have been my opponent, couldn't have said, but both we can say is we have law enforcement, or excuse me, if his opponent would have made it, he couldn't have said, but had vast amount, law enforcement experience. And then lastly, leadership. My personnel file is an open record. You can look at it. You will find, and you've heard from Ms. Hale, that my leadership is respected by those above me and those below me. And you lead as a leader, as you heard from others. And I'll close with this. And let me make this clear, because there's something that I've learned on this campaign trail. One word, small phrase, or a full sentence can be twisted, turned, and changed in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. You will walk out of here and change it. So let me make this clear. This has nothing to do with this man standing next to me. It has nothing to do with Dennis McFadden. But ladies and gentlemen, the time for the sheriff's office is we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We must move forward. I am the only one the entire time that's been on this ballot that doesn't come from within the agency, from a management, not managers, and not the person. There's the word that was changed on me. The management needs to change. My name is Billy Woods, and I need your vote November 8th.
Okay, gentlemen. As you can tell, there's been a theme. I'm going to ask the same question to both of you.
Had no idea.
Kind of secretive there. I kept that low key for you. Okay, I'm going to ask you. Tell me one thing you like about your opponent. I would like Billy Woods to go first.
Okay, it's the shirt, all right? Actually, come here. I love the socks, okay? Actually, first, obviously, it's because he is a law enforcement officer. As I mentioned, the person prior that he was going against couldn't say that. I do admire him because we are more than just candidates, we are brothers. But probably the most, and it is those that do know me, and hopefully I can get through this because I'm a very emotional American. I love this country very much. I am the grandson of 2 World War II vets and the son of a Vietnam vet, and probably the most that I admire. I cannot take it away from him, and I will never would take it away from him. And that is his service to me and my family. And Dennis, I thank you for that.
Listen, the socks are for, it's a conversation piece. It's a conversation piece. If I sit somewhere and I don't know you, if I throw my leg up, you're going to ask about the socks. So what I do, it's a conversation piece. It's a segue into, hi, my name is Dennis McFadden, and I'm running for sheriff of Marion County. Billy, he and I worked together on the Christmas parade. We've been working together on that Christmas parade for how long? I started with Miss Sue Mosley and Mr. William Taylor on this Christmas parade committee for years. And Billy has been taking over that. But I have to say that he is definitely committed. He's committed to his cause to become the next sheriff of Marion County, and he has been on this trail a lot longer than I have. And he has, throughout this whole time, continued to just be steady in his preparation and everything he does. And we've been, along the way, we've had some really good times and some good conversations. A lot of times you don't know it, but he and I conversate back and forth on the phone because those conversations are between me and him and nobody else. But we have these conversations, and I think the world of Billy, again, he's my law enforcement brother. Thank you for pushing me to November 8th. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Go ahead, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good luck. Okay. Well, I would like to thank everybody. That's going to conclude our evening. I'd like to thank all the candidates for participating tonight and those that came up and spoke for them, and for everybody out here that attended. And please remember to get out and vote. And the gentleman will be around to talk to him before your night's over. Thank you very much.